right, this Ian Garry situation, I'm sorry, it is getting worse and worse. And him pulling out of the fight for pneumonia, which if he actually has got it, I feel bad for him, but I've got a weird theory. I don't think it's that. What I think it is the bullying, the trolling about his wife, writing that book, embarrassing him, and now he doesn't like what people are saying about him. You've got other fighters trolling him like Kevin Holland, and I hope he fights Vicente Luque, by the way. But the dietitian has probably screwed him over, and I'll tell you why. He's a vegan guy, Ian Garry. As a fighter, you do not want to be having a vegan diet, because vegan diet, you're very low in like your amino acids, especially the omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B12, zinc. Usually, vegetarian and vegan diets are low in it because it doesn't have a lot of red meat. You can't eat red meat, it's vegan. So, being his wife's partner, I hope I'm not wrong with that, that makes it even worse as well. And I'm just thinking, surely it can't just be pneumonia. Maybe it was a tactic from Dana White because of all the press he's getting. He didn't feel comfortable. He was coming up with the excuses like, I don't feel safe for my family or something. And I don't get that. One, he's a fighter, and the people he's saying he's scared of, he could definitely take in a fight. Not only that, what is there to be scared of? Do you really think someone's going to want to fight Ian Garry because he decided to be a CUC, you know, the next letter? I don't think so. That's just stupid, because no one's going to care that much to the point where they're going to want to fight him because of what he likes. You don't see people fighting people because they've got a different taste in partners. That just don't happen. Well, not in this country and not in America, I don't think. But Ian Garry, it's just a stupid excuse. And like I said before, if he's got pneumonia, I don't blame him for pulling out the fight. But I've just got that weird theory that he doesn't like the attention he's getting. He feels a bit embarrassed about it. If he went to that press conference and you had Colby Covington, of all people, by the way, and who else would have been on that? I don't really think Paddy Pimblett would have said much. But yeah, you would have had Colby, and you know how he can't stop talking on the mic and violating you. Look at the John Morgan situation.
I'm a man of my word, John. 10 push-ups if you want to answer for me.
He won't answer a question until he gets some 10 push-ups done. Imagine what he would have done with Ian Garry. Ian Garry's like saying, yeah, I know I'm going to go out there and I'm going to beat... That's a terrible accent, by the way. But you know what's going to happen. He'll be interrupted by Colby. He'll probably say, you're a virgin. Or Colby will probably interrupt him like Ian Garry interrupted Neil Magny. And I want to quickly mention that as well. Like, Ian Garry is becoming so hated, but it has been self-inflicted in a way. But I don't know if he's aware of this. For example, Ian Garry with the Neil Magny. Neil Magny is stupid for even trying to bring that conversation up. Even though we knew deep down that's not what he meant. You've got God knows how many people were watching that live. You don't say that type of stuff on the TV. Not anymore anyway. If you say that now, people are going to take it out of context. And Ian Garry, he knew what he meant, but he kind of wanted to like get at him. And it worked. And even after the fight, he was acting the same way. And that's another reason why people don't really like him. Because remember, Neil Magny don't seem like a bad guy. Obviously, I don't know him deep down. There could be darker stuff if you look deep in the closet. But from what I know about him, nothing severely bad. And Ian Garry copying McGregor saying, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. It's a bit like Usman, why some people hated him. I didn't, but when it was like Usman saying, oh, Scream Panty Night, copying McGregor. You see a lot of fighters do this, they copy McGregor. And Ian Garry being from Ireland, and he's took a picture of him, it don't mean anything. But you've seen him do it, where he'll copy him. What else is it? You'll do as you're told, and stuff like that. It's not Ian Garry. He hasn't got his own person. And that is why I think people are starting to hate him more and more. And I'm just hoping that now the fight's pulled out, Ian Garry can recover if it's actually true. Or what will happen, I think, is Ian Garry is going to go into hibernation for a month and try and wait for things to cool down. A bit like Adesanya in the dog situation. Adesanya, yeah, he's posting more now. But I feel like his coaches might have told him, right, you're going to take a bit of a break. Let everything cool down because you've lost to Strickland. The dog thing was trending. It's not a good look on him. So, I know I've gone a bit off topic, but that's what I'm going to start to do more often. And with Ian Garry, as of right now, I refuse to believe that it's a coincidence that out of nowhere he's just developed pneumonia. And his dietitian, in my opinion, is a bit to blame for this, because you've got him on this soy diet, some people might call it. Because veganism, I've mentioned it earlier on, not good for fighting. You need these B12, you need zinc, you need these omega-3 fatty acids for recovery, let alone your mental state of well-being. Like, you're going to notice people who eat more like vegetarian and vegan diets, they're going to have lower testosterone deep down. More likely anyway, because red meat is higher in the things I've mentioned above, and things that can impact your testosterone, red meat can a lot. And getting kicked out of gyms, and then Sean Strickland having his incident with him at the PI, he just digs a hole and makes it worse and worse and worse for himself. So that's what I've got to say about Ian Garry right now. And yeah, I think this is the first time that a fighter has actually been bullied out of a fight. That's just my opinion. He might have pneumonia, but that is what I think as of right now. So we're going to have to talk about Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. If that fight gets booked, I think Vicente Luque might have that, because with Vicente Luque, we know that Kevin Holland's takedown defense can be questionable at times. I know he's very tall, but we've noticed that Vicente Luque is very patient now, and he likes to go for takedowns, but he's very good with the hand control. We saw some new things from him, like trying to grab the ankles of RDA to then pin him down to the ground and keep his body over the top, his chest specifically, over the top of Rafael dos Anjos' head to hold him down and make it harder to scramble. I think this fight's going to be hard for Kevin Holland, because look at that JDM fight. Vicente Luque has got a power threat, but that's not how I think he'd get the job done. It's the fact that Kevin Holland, when he comes up against a guy with power, you can start to see him stay on the back foot and not pressure forward, compared to a guy like Chiesa, where you don't have to really worry about the threat of striking. You've only got to worry about getting taken down and maybe getting submitted or giving away your back. So he just walked him down, easy work, submission. But with Vicente Luque now, if you're patient against Vicente Luque, that's not going to work. You're going to have to come forward and apply pressure, because we know that his brain almost got him out of the sport because of all the damage he had in that fight with Jeff Neal. But because I believe he'll come out with a grappling heavy approach, it will make it easier for him to win, because he can finish people from the bottom. He's got good jiu-jitsu, and so does Kevin Holland, but we've noticed that when he comes up against a good grappler, plus Vicente Luque is going to be bigger because it'll arguably be a catchweight, he struggled. Look at the Marvin Vettori fight. He'll just lay down there, and he's there to get paid. Very talented, like Colby said, but he's a bit of a waste of talent, because sometimes he doesn't fight with his brain and he fights for entertainment, like in the Wonderboy Thompson. Go out there, grapple him, and you can get a win. They made an agreement, but that's why he's a likeable guy. But at the same time, he is not going to go far, like into the top 5 or crack into that, unfortunately. He can make good money, obviously, taking the Khamzat Chimaev fight on short notice and taking short notice fights. He should be getting paid very well, especially in this situation. And from now, I'm just waiting to hear from Dana White or someone to confirm that the fight's going to be Vicente Luque and Holland, and Ian Garry. It's just going to keep getting worse for him, especially now he didn't take the fight. I think it would have been better for him if he took the fight and he won, compared to if he waits now. People are going to continue to troll him on the internet and say, oh, you got bullied out of a fight and all that type of stuff. I don't know if he cares. I don't know him in real life. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Ian Garry, and I'm hoping Vicente Luque and Holland can happen. So thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.